I am ready. Well, a good Thursday to you. Glad you've checked in here with the Fox 26 weather update. I'm meteorologist John Dawson, and yes, this is what we're seeing across our area this morning for just about everybody is lots and lots of cloud cover. Now, at times today, it's really going to seem like it wants to rain, and I don't think we're going to get a whole lot of rain across the area, but there's going to be some points in which there's a little light drizzle or maybe even a little bit of a light rain. But for the most part, we're just going to have these really thick cloudy skies, and it just kind of making it looks like it kind of wants to rain, but probably won't do a whole lot of that overall. Winds coming in out of the south, pretty light at the moment, but they're going to get up to 5 to 10 miles an hour overall. Our dew points are climbing back up. That's that amount of humidity that we have in the air, so those numbers are starting to get higher. You're beginning to feel a little bit more of the air across Houston, kind of what we're kind of more used to. At least we've had some dry air in place with some north winds, but that's changed somewhat. So our high temperatures yesterday were very similar to the day before and very comfortable with the partly cloudy skies, and mostly we'll just sort of say it was mid to the upper 60s. We did catch a little bit of a 70-degree or so here in Brenham. It was 64 down in Galveston. We will be warmer than that for today, and the morning though was so much milder than what we'd seen with 30s and 40s before, and then today we were only able to get down into the 50s. Officially, we'll put down 55 degrees for that overnight low or that cool temperature this morning. Now, looking at high temperatures in the days ahead, as I mentioned today, for sure, we're going to be warmer than what we've been. Now, tomorrow we've got more clouds and higher chances or much higher chances of rain. It will be a rainy day at times, but then look at the difference when we get to Saturday. High temperature only in the 50s. Remember, we were in the 50s as last night's low temperature, so that's a front that'll be coming in, and it'll be a breezy day and a chilly day for sure on Saturday. The rain will be done, and then we'll be able to warm up a bit on Sunday and then warm up quite a bit when we get into Monday. I know it's a holiday for many of you, and that would be a good day for some outdoor activities with some very comfortable temperatures. And again, we'll keep rain out of the forecast. So today, those temperatures are going to be very mild overall. We'll look for just that little bit of light rain chances that we could see. For tomorrow, we're definitely should be expecting some rainy points of your day, and then we get that cleared out on Saturday so that we end our holiday weekend with some rain-free conditions, and then the temperatures kind of warming more or less as we go through the back half of that weekend. We talked about the winds, relatively light at the moment. Like I said, Galveston looking at 7-mile-an-hour winds right now. Same thing in Pearland, up in Huntsville at about 8. Generally from the south to the southeast kind of is that trend that we're going to see. So let's look at that rain chances that I was talking about. We're going to see some rain ahead of a front, but it's not going to be one of those situations where the front is like squeezing out the showers. This is moisture that's in a little bit of a disturbance coming in from the south. So you can see how the rain settles in on Friday. And then as we get to the end of the day on Friday, you'll notice that rain will, and this is really more in Saturday morning, you begin to see that rain start to clear. That's when the front starts to move in and kind of push that rain out. So high pressure off to our east, really helping to bring in those winds. We're close enough to that high that we're not looking at the higher levels of the winds. It's not that brisk, the breezy out there. And then in the upper levels of the atmosphere, remember, this is our water vapor imagery. It gives us an idea of what's happening up high in the sky. And whatever happening up there impacts us a lot on the ground a lot of times. And this is certainly what's going to happen with all this moisture that's getting pulled in the upper levels of the atmosphere. And then that's what's really going to bring us our rain chances. And we can see that here in one of our FutureCast products as we show that expected rounds of rain as we move through Friday. And then most of this, on this particular model, putting the rain much earlier on Friday and less when we get into Saturday night. We'll see how that all pans out. But this little line right here, That's the front itself moving through early on Saturday morning. I will point out that the Storm Prediction Center is not looking for severe weather. So I've talked about high rain chances and a lot of rain possibilities, but I'm not looking for overly stormy weather. Certainly could have some thunder and lightning, but as far as the damaging winds and the hail and that sort of thing, not expecting that. And the Storm Prediction Center, you know, they have that 1 out of 5 risk of severe weather where they expect to see severe weather. Well, don't forget there's also a 0 on that 1 out of 5 where we are expecting rain. That's what our light shading here represents, but it's not the severe storms. So this is the 0 out of 5 as far as that number of expected for the storm. So it's not like it's never ever going to happen, but it's very unlikely that we would see severe weather. And that was the focus of it, well to the north of the Houston area. Allergens, we're still dealing with the cedar and the elm tree pollen that's floating around. The other allergens seem to be a little bit more under control. We've got 69 degrees right now with those cloudy skies, and we'll look for those south winds to sort of continue to bring that humidity back towards those higher numbers that we kind of have more often around here. So for this afternoon, we've got lots of clouds. You see that very light green just sort of popping up. That's that drizzle. That's that very light rain that's going to try to happen. Maybe it ends up evaporating before it actually gets to the ground. And then when we get into Friday, this is early Friday morning, we see all the shower activity. There's certainly some yellows and some oranges representing that heavier downpours. So I talked about the severe weather element, not expecting that. Well, doesn't mean that we won't get a bit of a heavy downpour. It's just that we're not going to be looking for those damaging winds and things like that to go along with it. So rainfall totals, if we were to put the bucket out in the yard and see how much rain that we're going to catch overall, we're basically looking at an inch. Though these isolated pockets here, they could be 1 to 2 inches, but all that's going to be fairly manageable as we move through the day. So let's put it all together here in the 7-day forecast. Have you been taking notes at home? You're ready to kind of fill in the blanks here. You know what's happening with the very light chances of rain today, warm into the 70s. We're cooler tomorrow, basically just because we're not going to get any sunshine. We're going to have the clouds and the rain most of the time. And then when we get into the overnight hours on Saturday, we're timing out that front, adjusting that along with the rainmaker that's out coming in from the south. We'll see how that all times out exactly when we get the rain done with on Saturday. But the Saturday rain chances are in the morning. By the time we get to the afternoon, rain is done. That's when the breezy conditions kick in, and that's why our high temperatures are going to be so much cooler with the highs only in the 50s. And then look at the morning low temperature on Sunday. That's a cold morning, Sunday for sure. So look for 37 degrees on Sunday morning. It's average for most of us, and then a very pleasant afternoon. So Sunday and Monday are really going to be some pleasant afternoons. Sunday's certainly cooler than what we'll feel on Monday, but both of them would be great for outdoor activities. Just make sure you're kind of dressed appropriately for the cooler day on Sunday as opposed to Monday, which is much milder with temperatures in the 70s. And it looks like if you're heading back to work on Tuesday and Wednesday or back to school, looks like you'll be rain-free for that as well. All right, about 22 minutes away from our newscast, the Fox 26 News at Noon. I'll expect to see you there in a few minutes.